Coach, what did the win do for this team? Did it change anything?
Well, we take it week to week, and obviously it was a good win. It was on the road, and uh, you know, I like the way, and I don't want to get into a lot of specifics, but I like the way we won the football game. There were some positives, some things that myself and the staff were looking for as far as our approach. Some little details that I think were important for this program going forward, and I like the physicality of our team. I liked their approach, the attitude. I mean, there's a lot of little things that I think are important for this program to keep progressing, and I thought I saw some of those things, which I was happy to see, and now that has to continue. We can't ride a roller coaster, and our approach has to be the same this Saturday. And if that continues, then you have a chance.
Coach, you said pretty much throughout the year that the kids have to believe, and maybe that's not the right word, but believe in the system, believe what they're doing. Do you sense they are starting to believe that now?
Yeah, I saw a more consistent focus. I saw the type of effort across the board that you need. We weren't perfect by any means, but there were some real positives that came out of that game, and I thought we made some progress that I was looking to make, and it's not about the win. I mean, obviously the most important thing is to win the football game, but there were some other things that I was very pleased with in our approach. Our approach to the game, our ability to play four quarters, for the most part, keeping our focus, playing a little bit more disciplined football, and not shooting ourselves in the foot as much as we have been in the past. And either there were a lot of things to be happy with, but and to feel good about, but at the same time, we have a lot of work to do.
Have you noticed any change in the kind of the attitude or a little more swagger in the team?
Yeah, our team has been, our kids have had a good, I think we're very black and white in our approach. We point out the good things, we point out the things we need to do to get better, and our approach does not change. Win, lose, no matter what the result, we stay with our process each and every week. And, we as a staff don't really ride the highs and lows. I think it keeps your players from, and it's a very business-like approach of how we go about it. And, it's not like because we won the game, we just moved on to the next thing. We have a lot of things that we can do better. We point out the things that we do well, and keep building and try to get better on a week-to-week basis, and that's going to be our challenge this week.
The past few weeks, you've been talking about trying to get the right combination of players. Do you think you finally kind of honed in on what's going to work for this season?
Well, injuries happen, different unforeseen things happen. I mean, that's part of the game, and we'll just have to see how it goes. I think week to week, we're creating competition in practice. We're, guys have opportunities, and it's what they make of their opportunities. And it's not always a perfect science, but that last week we had some guys, we had some true freshmen step up. We had a number of guys who maybe started the game for the first time or played more significant minutes, and that's a week-to-week thing, and we're going to need different guys to step up as we finish out the season, as we keep progressing through the season.
Coach, once again, your pass defense was really good. Still up right at the top of the FCS. What's allowed that group to be so good this year?
Well, I think they're getting better. I think they're buying into what we do defensively, and they're learning. And so I'm seeing some progress made there. And I said it after the game, and I believe it. I think we played really well up front the other day, and that enabled us to really play the way we wanted to in that game plan. Our guys played very well up front, and that allows you to do some different things coverage-wise to really to give help where you need help and take away certain things that they like to do. And I thought our guys executed the plan pretty well. You know, I mean, I think they were. Somebody said I think they were like 1 of 11 in the first half, and the one, you know, that's one where obviously we liked back. You know, we were kind of right there, and you know the guys were hand fighting, and Katie lost that fight, but and it ended up being a big play for them. Those are the things that we have to eliminate. You know, but overall, I thought our kids played pretty well, and we really competed on the outside. I mean, like, they've been throwing the ball for a lot of yards and a pretty high percentage. And if you would have told me going in, that's been one of the strengths of our defense over the years, and I think that we're making progress, and our guys are understanding kind of what we're trying to get done and how we do it. But I thought our level of execution was pretty good.
Well, can you pinpoint maybe what area has made the biggest jump? Maybe not in Saturday's game, but over the last several weeks?
Well, I think we're getting better defensively. I think that's obvious. Once again, it's some of the mental errors at times that hurt us, so we have to eliminate those. But I thought this past week our special teams played very well. That was our best game across the board, special teams wise, and it was something that needed to happen. We weren't playing as well as we were capable on special teams. We made some changes. We mixed some guys around, and our kickers played well. They both had a good game. You know, Nick and Zach really did a nice job, and you know, I liked it. It was good to see Zach kind of recover from, you know, he hit the post on the first one, and he didn't let it bother him, and he stepped up and made 3 big field goals. So that was a real positive. And offensively, we just, you know, we haven't been as efficient as we need to be. You know, we've struggled at times, you know, really kind of like we did early in the year at times, as far as getting off track, as far as, you know, some lost yardage plays when you have you know, you end up second and long too many times, and not winning on first down, and putting ourselves in difficult down and distances against the sticks, but you know, I think there were some positives in all 3 phases of the game, and obviously some things that we need to keep working to get better at.
Missouri State does well despite its record.
I think they're pretty. They have a couple good backs. You know, they hang in to some in a number of games. You know, early on, I think they've had a hard time putting together, you know, 4 quarters of football, and I think they've gotten better. It's obvious they've gotten markedly better. When I really went back and watched some of their early games, that they've gotten a lot better as the season's gone on. I think they're searching for some consistency, but you know, Coach over there, they're playing a lot of young guys, and so when you play as many young guys as they are, and kind of mixing and matching the way they are, I think that lends to, you know, they're rebuilding right now, and but at times they really show that they're very, very capable of playing good football. So at the end of the day, I'm not real concerned about Missouri State. I'm concerned about us. I'm concerned that we continue on the you know, building on some of the things that I thought were very important for this program this past Saturday.
With that being said, though, I know you're more worried about what you guys do, but because they're in a I don't want to say transition, but as you mentioned, they're rebuilding and they use so many guys. Is it tough to kind of pinpoint their personnel and what they do?
No, I think they have a system that I feel they believe in, and both sides of the football, and you know, but it's like any time, you know, there's some new things, some new players, and they're trying to figure some things out, and I think we have a good idea about what they're going to do, and you just, you know, you build your game plan in all 3 phases of the game, and then you work to execute at a high level. That's our challenge. It doesn't really matter week to week who you line up against or how you do it. You have a plan, you go with that plan, and you're going to make adjustments along the way. But the key is not as much what you're doing, it's how you do it. And I think we all understand that. And it's the little things, the little details, the fine points, the fundamentals that are going to allow us to keep getting better.
Coach, what can you say about Armand Delavade? I apologize if I butchered his name there.
No, that's
He's a true freshman. In my experience, I haven't seen too many true freshmen come in and start at linebacker. Now, what has he done to earn that spot?
He's a good football player. He's very instinctive. He works really hard at it. You know, he and Jalen have been, pretty much splitting time, at the Mike linebacker spot. And I think they complement each other well. I think he's getting better as the season goes on. He understands. He's a very instinctive football player. You look at him on the hoof, and he doesn't, he's not a guy that's going to wow you physically, but he's a guy who has a really good feel for the game. He's tough. He's extremely instinctive, and he's really everything that Coach Palco, his high school coach, told me he was going to be, and the kind of guy we were looking for. And I've learned over the years that good football players come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and you can't just sit there and look at something and say, earmark and say, hey, you have to run this fast, you got to be this big, whatever. Some guys are just good football players, and he's that type of guy.
Coach, Saturday there was a lot of switching between the quarterbacks. Is that a new system that we're going to understand?
Well, I think that Ricky gives us a little bit different dimension and something else that people, our opponents have to work on. He obviously he's more of a dual threat guy than what Hunter is, and so he opens up some different parts of the playbook for us. And how much we use that, I think it's going to be on a week-to-week basis on how we go about that and how it fits into our game plan. But I do think it's something that you're going to see. How much of it on a weekly basis, I don't know. It's not like we sit there and say, okay, we're going to run this many of these. A lot of it depends on how the game's going and how they're playing us, but it will be part of our package.
Good to be back home to play a game finally after 2 weeks.
It is. It's it seems like it's been a long time since we played back here at home, and I know that I'm looking forward to it, and it's nice to be. It's nice to play at home.
Could you talk about staying the course and staying focused on this game? Is that more important this week than any, just because you don't want to look ahead at a team that might not have the best record?
Yeah, it's about us, and I always tell our football team that, and stay on track. And you're not going to be a good program, a good football team if you ride the highs and lows and you're inconsistent. And that's been something that's maybe plagued us a little bit. And there's. And like I said, I believe that over the years, the programs I've been around have been consistent because of our approach. And I think our guys are buying into the approach, but it has to be something that you have to be mentally tough and focused and disciplined to carry that out. And in that respect, with as many people that are talking about, almost, about Missouri State the way they are because of their record, I think this comes at the right time for us to have this football team, because we're going to find out the level of maturity and that our football team has as far as the approach you need to be a good football team.
Coach, going back to the quarterbacks a little bit, how has Hunter kind of accepted the two quarterback system, and did he say anything about it affecting his rhythm or anything like that?
No, I think Hunter's really. I think it's been good for him. I mean, I think that it gives him a chance to kind of come over and see what's going on during the game. He communicates. Shane's been down on the sideline, and I don't think it's affected him one bit. I think he's really been able to step in there and he made some big throws. I thought a couple of those third down throws he made some good decisions, and I think that. I don't think it's really affected him in a negative. I mean, if it did, if it was something that I didn't think he wasn't handling well or couldn't handle, then we'd back off on it. But I think it's been good.
along the same lines, how's Ricky been through the situation? It seems like he's a pretty enthusiastic kid.
Oh yeah, he's excited. He just wants to play football, and as long as he doesn't do any more flips into the end zone, we'll be good.
What about the offensive line? I know it's kind of been changing part. There's been a lot of changing parts. You know, are they making progress, or is it still something that needs some work?
There has been some good things, and there's some things we got to fix. And it's been a little bit of a game of musical chairs a little bit, and you might see a different combination this week. It's it's just something that you keep working, and the guys who put it on film during the week and that we believe are going to give us the best chance to win the football game, are going to be the guys you see.
How's having Shane on the sideline? How's that helped the development of the offense the past couple of weeks?
Well, Shane wanted to come down a couple of weeks ago. I think it's, him being the quarterback coach, I think he brings a little bit of a stabilizing force for those guys as far as them, be able to communicate, look them in the eye, talk about what he's seeing, what they're seeing. And, so it's been fine. It's not like we have some very capable guys up in the box, I believe, are, give them good information and is it always going to be that way? I think it's more up to Shane week to week about, what he believes is best for those kids, because it's not at the end of the day, it's about what can you do to serve your players to give them the best opportunity to have success. And Shane thought it was going to, the right thing to do was to come down, and I think it's worked out well.
Coach, what about the run game? It's kind of seems like it's a little, I don't want to say hit or miss, but it hasn't been as productive in times than I think some people expect it to be. What are the problems there, if there are some?
Well, I think that we've had some injuries on the offensive line. We got some young guys in there. We haven't been as consistent in that area running the football as I'd like. A couple. Sometimes that's not just the offensive line. It could be a tight end's block here or wide receiver missing a block. We just we haven't executed consistently at the level we need to keep running, be consistent the way we want to in the running game, and especially some of the minus yard plays that we've had and that have kind of taken us off track on some of our drives. But the kids are practicing hard. We just got to keep looking for the combination that's gonna give us that consistency that we need.
I didn't get a chance to check. Did Brock play last week?
He did not. No, he's still Brock's still out right now.